All right, guys, the Tyler's Travels team up in Ridgeway out did an awesome little hunting camp out here, and this is kind of the place you got to be to learn about some of the safety items you need, also some of the equipment you want to gear up, because turkey season in some places already open, other places opening April 1st. Eric Johnston from Palmetto State Armory. So what opened up over the weekend, and what opens on April 1st?
It's the lower part of the state. Obviously check your DNR regulations book to verify that your county did or did not open. But this is just a select few counties open up the 15th. The majority of the state actually will open up on the 1st. Okay, so you got plenty of time to get shopping and get geared up, and make sure you take the hunter safety courses if you need them and things like that. All right, so let's talk about some of the gear that I need. I come in with a big shopping cart and a big fat wallet, and I got to get all geared up because I want to go out in the woods and get myself a tom turkey. All right, we need several different things. You got to have a seat or a vest. So depending on how you want to do it, there are seats that just come with a cushion, or a vest comes with a cushion.
Pull that out there if you would. So like, it's a vest I can put it on. It actually sits right down for me. Oh, this is what every man needs. I need this for general use, day-to-day use. I've always got someplace to sit. I like it. All right, good enough.
So the other option, you have that, or if you have a vest that doesn't have a seat, you can also buy a separated seat that actually gets you off the ground a little bit, changes your level.
So you're not sitting in the muck or in the leaves or any wet leaves or anything like that. Okay, fair enough. What else we got?
You got your calls. You have different kinds of calls. So you have what they call box calls. The push button would be the easiest for a novice.
Get out of town.
So that's just your yelp. The advantage with the box call is you can get louder on it than you can with a friction call, which would be something in the slate or a glass style call. Again, same type setup. You have different price points, so there's something in everybody's budget available.
Sure. So what do you want?
These are going to be more of a custom style setup. They're going to be as far as the Woodhaven slate.
All right.
So it's gonna have a different pitch, different sound. Slate is not good if it's raining or a lot of moisture in there. It will get wet and it changes the pitch.
Sure. I pulled out this lady earlier. This is the old-fashioned decoy, right?
It is. This is actually a new one from HS Strut. So they're trying to get you some of the higher end pieces that you would get with some of the other brands out there. They're going to be $100+ decoys. This one's going to be about $60.
Okay. They're reusable, right? It's not just one to go. Okay.
Locator calls, so you have an owl or crow call, or your standard locator calls people do use. And then the other things you would need would be gloves, paint, mask, face paint if you choose not to use a mask.
Sure. Sure. Of course, you want to also have your orange as well. You still want to be camouflage, obviously, but you also want to make sure you're seen by other hunters out there.
Exactly. And a lot of your vests do come with some orange attachment to it. Usually, it's just tucked in and hidden because of turkey's eyesight. You want to be as concealed as possible. Stuff. So you can do a little shopping. You're ready to go turkey hunting here in the Palmetto State as well. So, guys, we're going to talk about the right firearm to choose as well, and also some hunter safety. And DNR is going to join us this morning and actually talk about some of the laws they need to be concerned with when you're out there, so you get out there safe. Bring yourself home, maybe some dinner. Hopefully it's not made of plastic and blown up with a little tube on the bottom, but that's all right, guys. Stick around. We're out in the woods here with Good Day Columbia. Gobble, gobble. They don't gobble. Yeah, you get the idea. Stay with us. All right, guys, the Desperate for Ratings Tour. We are road tripping all the way to Ridgeway, talking about firearms, hunter safety, of course, getting ready for turkey season. If you're ever geared up, Eric Johnston from Palmetto State Armory, talking about some of the gear you need, the duck calls and great stuff like the vest that's got the seat on it, which is very, very cool. But of course, the other important part of hunting is you actually need a firearm. You actually need a gun to shoot the turkey, or a bow, I suppose. Right. But let's talk a little bit of just about the gun selection you want to look at if you go on turkey hunting. I mean, you have the option of keeping the firearm that you use for any other season. If you want a turkey-specific firearm, we do offer that to you. They just have a little bit different setups. Some will come with pistol grip setups, just give you a little more comfort, make you a little more steady. But as far as what else you need to add to your firearm, if you haven't done it already, you'd have to get some kind of turkey choke. It is a tighter patterning choke. It's going to concentrate more of your shot into the kill region of the turkey.
Let's take a look at that. And the reason for that is because you're aiming actually for the neck area.
That's right. So obviously you get the choke, you'd pattern it to make sure, see where your shot actually hits. So you'd actually use the target to determine where you're hitting. For this one, your kill zone's actually in the pink for the turkey. So if you pattern it and you know your shot was low or high, it gives you your adjustments you would need to make in the field to have a successful
And so when you're talking about the choke and the grouping, that's so the actual load doesn't spread and hit everywhere in the bird.
Right. I mean, in this case, the firearms we brought were a Mossberg 935 and then a Winchester SX3. Both of them have True Glow style sights on there. Gives you a little bit more of a point of aim for when you are hunting. Just makes it a little bit easier. This one's already got the Kicks Goblin Thunder choke in it.
Okay, and that's something you actually put on the end, so that's with it and without it there.
That's right.
Just like that, guys. What are the price points on if you need a new shotgun, if you're going to go ahead and get one somewhere?
In the semi-auto, I mean, a 935 is going to be a moderate price point depending on where you go, but you know, it's going to be $500.
Okay.
You can also use pump. They make a pump in the same configuration called the 835. It's a preferred gun for a lot of people that do turkey hunt because it patterns very well. The SX3, you're gonna be looking at, you know, $1,100, $1,200.
Okay, and certainly you guys are, you know, want to go to any, whatever armory you go to, but certainly you guys are good at helping match that gun to the person. Obviously, size and stature probably comes into play as well.
Absolutely.
So there you go. All right, Eric Johnson, Palmetto State Armory. We're talking about hunter safety, of course, picking the right firearm, what you need to do, get geared up to go out and grab yourself your own Tom turkey or Tomette turkey. So does it matter if it's a boy or a girl turkey?
Yes, it needs to be a Tom.
It needs to be a Tom turkey. That'd be a boy for those of you at home.
Or a Jake if you're shooting a juvenile.
Or a Jake, a Tom or a Jake. There it is, guys. All right, we're talking about hunter safety and keeping you safe in the woods, going out there and enjoying the hunting season that is upon us here. My friends at Palmetto State Armory, stay with us. Good Day Columbia is coming back. All right, guys, good morning again. The Desperate for Ratings Tour in Ridgeway. We're talking about hunting out here on a perfect place to hit the woods and go look for Tom turkey. But you've got your gear, you've got the right firearm selection. We're going to talk about safety in a few minutes, but you also got to know the rules and regulations. That's an important part. DNR Sergeant Rhett Beckley, good morning.
Good to see you, Tyler.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the actual rules and regulations. Some of the hunting seasons are open in some parts of the state, April 1st, on others. But some of the basics of hunting and when it comes to the rules and regs.
Rules and regs on turkey, one of the most very basic things is to make sure you have the proper licensing. You need a hunting license, you need a big game permit or big game license, you need your turkey tags. Those three things are required to hunt turkeys, and they have to be on you. You don't want to leave them in the truck when you're running down to the woods and forget your stuff.
So it has to be on your person at all times.
It has to be on your person at all times while you're hunting.
What about age concerns? Like if I want to bring my son out?
If you want to take your son, he has to have his own turkey tags. If he's under the age of 16, he's not required to have the licensing, the license or big game permit, but they must have their own tags. Dad can't use one of his tags to tag one of his children's birds.
Now, is there a minimum age? Like if I bring an 8-year-old out, is that a no-go, or is it just about, you know, safety?
It's more about being able to show that they can, that they can handle a gun. You see more and more young children being brought out. Blinds and stuff make it easier to get a kid into the woods and not be seen. So as long as the kid can safely handle the gun and stays under control of the parent, then he's perfectly fine as young as the parent chooses to take them hunting.
Sure. Okay, let's talk a little bit then. Once you get permits, you get your tags, you got your big game, you're ready to go out in the woods. How are you going to know what I bag? Are you out there looking around?
We're out there before the season even starts. We're out there checking different places because we want to make sure when you hunt turkeys, you can't hunt them for bait, like overbait, like you do with deer. And so if you like to feed your deer throughout the year, you need to stop at least 10 days before the season so that all the bait's gone. Game wardens are out pre-season checking for that so that when the season opens, people who are feeding turkeys were able to correct their errors. And then once the season actually begins, then we're just out riding around at first light, looking for vehicles at get gates, seeing who's going in where, and actually checking the hunters and then checking them. We don't necessarily go in and mess with them so much when they're working the birds because most of us hunt too and don't want to mess up a hunt.
Right.
But when you're coming out, we're going to check and make sure you got your license, you got your permits, and that if you did tag it or if you did bag a turkey, that you have him properly tagged.
Right now, you 2 max, or what's the max?
It depends on where you're at, and that's one of the things that a hunter has to know, because whether you're hunting private land, whether you're hunting public land, what county you hunt in, you can kill a maximum of 5 birds per hunter in South Carolina.
Per season?
But per season.
Okay.
But I live in Richland County, and only 2 of my birds can come from Richland County. I have to kill my other birds in different counties.
So it's a total of all the birds around.
Total limit of 5 broken down by area that you live in.
Just like that. Of course, we're going to put links for you at WACH.com over to DNR and the rules and regs so you don't get yourself in trouble. You want to go hunting with Red, it's fantastic. You don't want him to be walking up to your hunt and taking your birds from you. That'd be a bad thing. Do you take those home and eat them?
Nope, they've got to be preserved for court.
I see. That's what he says. All right, Red Beckley.
Good to see you.
DNR, guys. You do it safe, of course. Hunter safety, a big thing. We talked about firearm selection, getting the right gear. You know some of the rules. We're going to talk about some gun safety. And yes, we're going to throw some hot lead down range because we're out here. And we're going to show you how to properly do that as well. So stay with us. Good Day Columbia is coming back. All right, guys, the Tyler's Travel Sea Mountain Ridgeway at a beautiful hunting camp out here. Sergeant Rhett Beckley from DNR is continuing to join us this morning. And, we talked about the rules and regulations, selecting the right firearm, the right gear you need, but you got to make sure you do it safely. These things are not toys, they're guns.
They are indeed, and every year we have people who end up getting hurt during turkey season for a variety of reasons. Number one, if you're traveling on a WMA, you want to make sure your weapon is cased. But when you're actually hunting, safety on at all times. Make sure of your muzzle awareness, that it's not pointed at somebody. Since you're well camouflaged for turkey hunting, you want to make sure that you know where your partner is at all times.
Right.
Another thing is when you're in the woods, don't wear red, white, and blue. You may have a favorite bandana that you like to carry with you, leave it in the truck or you tuck it deep. A turkey's head, when he's talking to the girls, gets a very, very brilliant white, red, or blue, and anything that looks like those colors, someone could mistake for a turkey's head moving through the woods, and you don't want them shooting at something like that accidentally.
So I should leave my deer hat at home as well.
It wouldn't be a good thing. Shouldn't shoot it, but you never know what somebody's going to do.
You never know.
Exactly.
So we're talking about like muzzle control and things. Explain what is good. We can stand up if you want, but let's talk about, you know, real good muzzle control as far as what the do's and don'ts.
Muzzle control, I like to consider it a laser rule. Just think about it like a laser's coming out of the end of your weapon, and anytime it sweeps something, if it were a laser out of it, that it would cut whatever it swept. And so you make sure that it doesn't sweep anything. You just always keep it pointed in a safe direction, typically up or down are two of the best directions that you can go with.
Right. You can always walk with it as well. If you're going to walk, you can have it down. Shoot your own foot off, that's your issue. You don't want to shoot your buddy's foot. That's
we call it a safety circle. There's basically a safe space all the way around your feet. Keeps you and somebody else from getting hurt.
What about also when you don't have anything, you want to make sure you lock it back as well, so you can make sure
Best
the
thing you can do is that way keep the
as
chamber
well.
open. Yep.
There you go. Do you guys have education classes and things? If not, even whether a kid or not, maybe a big kid like me, you want to make sure you do it safely. Education to make sure that we're safe out there.
We have hunter education courses offered for free by the department. You can do it one of two ways. You can contact the department, have them send you a DVD that you can take home study in and do it in your own time. Or if you want to do it on a Saturday or another day if it's scheduled, you contact DNR Hunter Education section. You can find them online, and they can tell you where the closest hunter education class to you is.
Fantastic. We'll put links for you, by the way, at WACH.com under DNR and the services as well. But it really, you know, hunting's a great sport. It's a lot of fun as long as you do it safe, because you want to come home with a turkey, not in an ambulance, as they say. Rebecca Lee from DNR, thank you very much for that quick education 101. Make sure you get the right training before you go out in the woods. Don't just pack a gun in your back and head on out. Just make sure you treat it safely. It is definitely not a toy. So, all right, brother, stick around. We got a lot more Good Day Columbia on the way. Stay with us. Welcome back to Good Day Columbia, the Desperate for Ratings tour up in Ridgeway. We're talking about hunter safety, turkey hunting, and how to do it safely. Make it fun. Hunting really can be fun as long as you do it safely and you do it, of course, legally. Eric Johnson from Palmetto State Armory joins us this morning. So we're talking about maybe some hunting tips now, because you've got of course, the face painting on, you've got the right weapon, you've got the education. Now we're out hunting blind.
Right. So, I mean, one of the things you do, if this would be a static setup, something that you've maybe pre-scouted an area where a bird's already going.
Okay.
So you know, have an expectation of where they're coming from. First thing you do is actually pick a tree big enough to hide your shoulders behind. Turkey has exceptional eyesight.
Okay.
Better than anything that you would possibly think. It's more like.
Are they a real timid bird? They're really cognizant and there's threats out there for them?
They're actually probably more paranoid than anything.
Okay.
You know, they don't have a very big brain, but they do know that being in an open field is the safest place for them to be. Other thing we did here, we set up the decoys about 20 yards roughly, so that most people's kill range might be to 40, depending on how you pattern your shotgun. That's just something I do so people that I'm taking hunting have an idea of actually how far the bird.
Okay. And so they'll come actually this close. If you're hidden well and you're concealed well, you'll get this close?
Yes.
Okay.
I've had them within, 4 or 5 feet of me before.
Oh, really? Okay.
The other thing about it is the way it's set up, the current decoy setup is the hen's kind of in a lower position as if the Jake was actually coming to breed. So if you had a dominant gobbler, he's going to be very upset about that and then come in. So that'd be your standard cluck. And this would be a purr. It's more of a calming, submissive type tone.
Now, I suppose it's a practice start. Can I let me go ahead and try that a little bit. What's the trick here?
Okay, so it's all about the angle in which you hold it. So
Like
you're actually going to hold it like you would a pencil.
Okay.
You're actually going to strike with the top part of your striker. It's really hard.
Ooh, wow.
It takes practice.
Yeah, that's like chalkboard.
Yeah, it's not what you don't want to do is put a lot of pressure down on it. It's actually more of a topping mode. There you go. So that would be an actual purr.
Look at that, and they're coming. Look, the two, well, I guess they're fake, but they like it. What about, you're talking about their eyesight is amazing, but what about other senses? You know, you talk about deer can really smell, you don't wear cologne and things, but does it matter when you're turkey hunting?
No, if a turkey could smell, you'd probably never kill a turkey. Between their eyesight and their hearing, that's the only thing fortunate you do have is they cannot smell. So you can wear bug spray, or if you don't have a thermosol, you probably buy one because mosquitoes are pretty bad.
Right. Very good. Eric Johnson, Palmetto State Armory. So we've got all this down. Of course, we're going to put links for you at watch.com to DNR and some of the safety classes, and these guys as well. They got a great website with some great information as far as hunting, whether it's turkey hunting, deer, whatever you're going to go for. You can certainly do that as well at watch.com. But man, we've been talking, we've been learning about the safety with guns. Any way we can maybe squeeze out a few rounds?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're going to do that. Stick around. Good Day Columbia's coming back from Ridgeway here on the morning show. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Desperate for Ratings Tour. We're out at a hunting camp out in Ridgeway. We've been talking about turkey hunting, of course, the safety of firearms, the right firearm selection. Yes, getting the right gear so the turkey doesn't see your face, so they might see the blue shirt, but it's a whole different argument. But it's about time to go ahead and put the rubber on the road together. That would be a nice turkey load. Eric Johnson from Palmetto State Armory here. We're going to take a dance with a nice Mossberg. Yep. So let me get in place. This is really cool. The seat is awesome. It's like like I'm ready to go to the game. This is like I can lean back. It's better than my house.
Got to be comfortable if you're hunting.
That's right. All right, so I've got this is for stabilization.
You're loaded.
Very good. Of course, you always want to have the safety on as well, guys. All right. You know what? I'm going to actually just go freehand. I'm not even going to worry that at all. Safety off. So I'm looking. I'm actually looking for the pink in the neck down there, right?
That's right.
All right. How come everybody's backing away from me? It's a scary thing. All right, guys. Well, this is not going to go well. I think I got him.
I think you did.
I got something anyway, guys. Oh, look at that. Not too bad. Come check it out. Oh, a little off, but sure enough, I got him. Some of the breast meat probably, what do you think, Eric? Some of the breast meat's a little dead.
Yeah, it's a little low and left.
But I got a wing. I got a wing though, right?
Yeah.
A wing and maybe a good turkey leg.
You got a few in the kill zone, so
there you go.
I mean, that's the most important part. Obviously, your pattern was a little bit left, so that could have been just how you were holding the gun.
Right.
For that situation.
Like that. So it's all about just kind of practicing and you know, knowing your firearm, sighting it in.
Right.
And you guys can help sight a firearm in as well, right?
Yep. We can. I mean, we have up to 25-yard range. Really, you want to try to sight it in at the optimum range you feel comfortable shooting. So
right.
For us, we were probably about 30 yards. Most people want to stretch out to about 40 or so.
Just like that. And by the way, it does have a bit of a kick. So if I bruise it tomorrow, you know why. It has a nice little kick to it, but so worth it. Hunting, you know, is a great sport. It can be fun if it's done safely, for sure. But certainly a great sport, and there's something cool about bringing home your dinner to your family, right?
Absolutely.
Very old school about it.
Yeah, very much so.
I would say. Guys, thank you so much for allowing us out here. Thank you to TNR for coming out and talking about the laws and some of the safety and the tips and the selection. It's been a great morning. Very safe. Happy hunting and very safe as we do it out here in Ridgeway on Good Day Columbia. Stay with us. Gobble, gobble that, fella.